listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. Oh my god, it's Dwayne.
Ah!
It's Niall.
How are you?
And it's set my cough off now. And it's me, Brian.
Like a yawn, it's contagious.
Yes, quite.
Or
And
cold.
on this episode, we are covering anime that aired the week of May, not March, like I said last week, to May the 19th. I've still got March in there, though.
Precious memories.
No exceptions. It's all airing this week, live and direct for you.
We're finally up to date.
Yes, talking of things which are finally up to date, it's Golden Kamuy, episode 43, Fleeing Karafuto.
But you just got here, you're already leaving. Oh.
I guess a bit of a spoiler in the title. The meeting does not go well.
I don't know, Surumi gets some gratification out of this, you know. He's leaking brain fluid of joy at finally being close to the objects of his revenge.
Or is it leaking brain fluid of frustration of the small child who's not doing his plan? Come on, small child, get on board. I'm going to lock you in a room for several months until we find all the gold and then release you? I don't know. I haven't figured that part out yet. We'll figure that when we get
there. You'll get bricked up in a wall and like it, young lady.
And so you'll come with me, and Sugimoto and other guy, you can just fuck off on the ferry or some shit. And they're just like, whoa, Sugimoto's coming, right? It's like, no. So what was the escape plan? Poison arrows, I think, is the escape plan.
Yes, she says poison arrows, launches them all up into the sky. Everybody starts fleeing. And then they chase for a bit, and then Sugimoto just kicks the shit out of guys.
It's running through the town. We can't murder them absolutely, Sugimoto. And also he has to keep making sure. It's like, Sorba, you didn't poison those arrows, did you? It's like, no, that was just a bluff. It's cool. We're all good. So he's to try to not murder people because that'll slow down their escape. And she's also trying not to murder people because, you know. But other than that, they're pretty simpatico multiple times over this, which is really nice in comparison to the last episode where they're kind of, for the most part, where he's kind of like, I gotta protect her, and she's like, you can't make decisions for me. I gotta make my own fucking thing. But they're kind of understanding each other at this stage.
It is, but
it's getting back to their original relationship
for the purposes of escape. Like they're very much.
Well, like Sugimoto was a novice in the wilderness. It was a sort of a Bella says, and he's forgotten that. Yeah, she's competent. She, you know, I'm not respecting, like her own fucking, her own initiative, her own fucking that, like. Then this gets tagged in like with Tsukishima. They're going to the back guy and saying, "Don't move, Sugimoto and Serpent. We got you in our sights." In comes Koi. So it's like, "One arrest him, man." And saying, "No, Tsukishima, Koi, get back." Don't you know?
Get back! We've shot him 3 times. He's at his most dangerous.
He's cornered. He goes crazy.
Yeah.
Probably crazier now with the whole brain injury.
Yeah. He's also got a bit of brain leakage going on, but he stabs one guy through the face.
Yes, through both cheeks. Yeah. Crazy gets stabbed in the chest. Well, first of all, he narrowly avoids his dick being stabbed, and then he gets stabbed in the chest. And then we get the bit where your other lad's like, goodness sake, Surumi, at least pretend to be concerned. But no, he's just focusing. I'm going to get Serpa. I'm going to get the gold. Then they're rescued by Vasily, who's found a horse.
Hey, it's that Russian guy. He showed up. Right. All right, everyone get on the horse. Not you. You
Tanigaki, you must. Good dog. You've been a good dog, but you must stay here now. You can't come with us.
Well, the thing he's looking for is in Surumi's. The person he's looking for is in Surumi's not employ. Captured. I'm not exactly sure what the deal is.
Wait, it says, brother, you got a child on the way. You gotta be there.
Yeah, and that's the thing you're fighting for. So it makes sense for Shirishi to grab the arse of this horse and for you to stay off it. This is a 4-person horse.
Yes,
the way we can fit on.
The way Shirishi is hanging on the horse is quite hilarious as well.
Also, he was the only guy to be hit by any of the non-poisoned arrows earlier, which is very funny as well. Because it's just him all over. Yep.
Am I going to die now?
So Vasily, Sugimoto, Asurpa, And Shuriashi get on a boat. It starts to sail away, but they're being followed. Someone's following the blood trail, so they try to mime to Vasily. Just shoot him in the leg, so it'll slow them down.
Bang, bang, foot, and like pointing at the foot, and he's like, "Gotcha, pow!"
And Sherpa's like, "Did you get him?" It's like, "Yeah, he wounded him."
He got him. So they're off on the ferry.
On a high-speed boat chase. It's definitely a boat chase of some speed.
I mean, like as fast as a ferry and a warship go, which is
the icebreaker as well, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, you're quite right. I mean, like it's pretty fast, but not like Fast and Furious style. Very big, slow movements and everything like that. But
and then we get one of my favourite side characters, the captain of this boat they're on, who's like, "Fuck the Navy."
Because they fire a warning shot over the bow, and Sugimoto shows up bleeding everywhere, and it's just like, "Hey, you got to keep outrunning the Navy." And he's like, "Well, I was going to do it anyway because they're shooting at a civilian ship, which is really rude."
Yeah. Essentially, they trick the Navy into clearing their path for them.
Yeah, they head towards the ice floes that the Navy can't see it. Again, the kind of slow speed and distances here, so the Navy blow the ice floes in front of them as warning shots.
Yeah. And
it's just like, well, now we're going to go through there, and the Navy's like, "Oh fuck, now we got an ice break through there, which is going to take us longer."
Yeah. But, so they manage to get away, and then they sneak off the boat with all the white cloth that's on board the boat, so they can hide against the snow. So when they eventually catch up to the ship, Tsurumi's like, his men are like, "We can't find him anywhere. Don't know what's happened to them."
But the captain not helping anyone, saying, "I don't fucking know what you're talking about."
Yeah. And again, using the old native tricks of they're wearing the white cloth on an ice floe. You can't see that for shit. So yeah, they're very well hidden and escaping, but they are on an ice floe in the middle of the ocean. I mean, like, I guess it'd be lucky if there were some fishermen nearby or something. But other than that, they're kind of there is some fishermen nearby. That's not so bad. But I like the bit again. Like I said, they're kind of working in simpatico. Where Tsurumi's like, "Hey, so you figured it out, huh, Serper? You figured out how to solve the riddle?" And she's like, "Mm-hmm." He's like, "Well, tell me." And she's like, "Fuck, if I tell him, he'll go off on his own to get the gold to save me." And he's like, "Actually, no, don't tell me, because that would mean he's like that." Yeah, I think maybe he hasn't figured out that part, but it feels kind of like it's like maybe I shouldn't know that.
Yeah, I don't think he's figured out her crush on him yet.
Yeah.
Then who shows up to catch the boat after the credits with payment in some fish? He's got off some fishermen, but a poor injured soldier who needs to get back home.
Oh no!
I lost everything in the war. I just want to go home to dear old mama and papa. I can pay you in these dried fish. And your guy, the boat captain, is moved to tears by this sad story.
I did not steal these clothes from another dead man.
I did not steal these clothes from another dead guy and identify that he was shot by a sniper many yards away on a fucking moving boat, and therefore it's exactly the sniper I'm looking for, and I happen to be a one-eyed sniper that looks like a cat. No, I'm an unrelated character. It's a perfect disguise.
Yeah, much like Vinland Saga, having read ahead and having obviously read like 10 volumes ahead, I think, on this. It's great to relive these scenes with the knowledge of like background details about characters who's just not been revealed yet, because Ogata, what you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, he doesn't have a fucking clue, and he's
the wild card.
I'm not even after the gold. I just want to shoot people. That's all I want to do, seemingly.
Just the kind of dude who loves spoiling the party. Maybe.
He is, yeah. Maybe. But there's other things going on. He's got his big daddy issue. And all sorts
his brother
of
issue. Yeah.
We won't get all that animated. We've had some of it animated already, but there's more to be animated to come on those lines. Good to see. It looks a little rough in the second half, animation-wise.
Yeah, they were kind of hanging on to it for the ship stuff, I'd say. Or maybe for something later on.
I think it's a bit better next week, because I've watched that episode already.
I have to. It is a bit better now.
Okay, good. I thought it was a good. Weirdly enough, it's kind of a good point to come back to, because it kind of reminds you of a lot of the interpersonal relationships, like you get your man after being stabbed by Sugimoto, like his dad reacting to him on the Koido and his dad. Is an admiral or some Navy guy anyway, high up in the Navy, like him reacting to that, and we get the scene between Koido and Tsukishima and your man. We're just like, oh, come on, even pretend to care. And it's just like, oh yeah, there's this kind of interworking relationship. It's just reminding you, it's a good point to remind you of where everyone is in terms of loyalties or waning loyalties, that kind of way.
Yeah. Well, at this point, Koido and I saying, I think this should be guys fucking lying to us, fun saying. Tsukishima says, yeah, you're right, and I'm all for it, fun saying, that's so cool. That is such such a old Machiavellian. I love him even more now. Like Ruby is in a real kind of manic mood throughout all his episode, understandably.
He's so close. It's tantalizingly close.
Say, hey, we chased him in a boat? Oh yeah, that's great. I know. He's just like, oh, I haven't felt this way in a long time. It's just a thrill of the hunt.
He's a very likable villain, yeah.
Yeah, it's good because after you give the understanding of where he's coming from in the last season with his flashback, it's good to like have him like go much further back towards being the mustache twirling villain that he also is. He's both things. He's the family man who misses his wife and kid and wants revenge, but yes, he's also a mustache twirling villain. That's what comes with discussing Super Mario Brothers movie before we start the podcast. Got mushrooms on my brain. Yeah, all good fun. Glad to see it back. Can't get enough of it. Then we got Heavenly Delusion, Tengoku Daimakyo, episode 7, The Immortal Order, in which our heroes are building themselves a sign so they can be hired out as monster hunters.
We'll kill a monster for fun. I forgot. That is over again.
As they go in search of the Immortal Order, who I think I mentioned a couple of episodes ago.
Yeah, there was an old guy looking to get them as bodyguards to bring them to him so they could graft this monster part onto him. Ah, god damn it, the monster part
melted.
So while they're painting the sign, somebody from a hospital spots them and says, "Are those bodyguards for hire?" They go and speak to a doctor. He says, "Bring them to me." Meanwhile, they themselves are scurried away by an organisation who are against this hospital, against the Immortal Order.
Who they initially think are the Immortal Order.
Yes.
But they're just... I like how incompetent they're portrayed. It's really funny to me.
The debates are kind of like a bunch of Luddites. We should reject technology.
We don't need machines anymore. I went to that hospital once for my bum leg, and they chopped it off and replaced it with this prosthetic leg. I don't need a prosthetic leg. It's like, to walk you do, and that cane is also technically a machine you're using to walk. So
it was before the pandemic started, but these are definitely people who we've seen lots of during the pandemic.
Yeah.
It would not surprise me for a whole fucking cult of these guys to show up after the post-apocalypse, for sure.
Embrace nature. Nature is healing itself.
Why are you living in the city? Just go live on the fucking weed farm. I'm sure they'd be fine with it. Those guys seem real cool.
There's a big economy for this now. You're way behind. You're all natural. One doesn't have time to get into this market.
Yeah. So their leader had part of her leg amputated because it was injured. And she's conceived that this organization is trying to turn people into robots because she saw somebody who inside a protective tent who was more machine than person. And
all the body parts had been separated out and hooked into machines, and it was some horrible fucking thing of science, and he was saying, "Kill me." Or
we don't know what that looks like now, or is it just a weird interpretation of it?
Exactly. Yeah.
But there is something odd going on.
Sure. There's 100% something odd going on. Also, our heroes kind of say it's like, we heard they were grafting monster parts onto people, and they're like, oh, those sickos. That seems like the kind of thing they would do. Yeah, for sure. Also, they definitely have a monster in their basement. So if you could go kill that for us, we'll provide a big protest distraction, and you guys sneak into the basement. We got a guy in the inside guard in the basement, so it'll be easy job.
So yeah, they do all that. They go into the basement. There are indeed monsters there,
But
they're inactive. There's more than they were said, and then they figure out. Hang on a second. They're inactive because they haven't had any food. We've just come in here. We're now their food.
Yeah, they're like little cocoon-looking things, like they're like in rest state or whatever. And I do appreciate the genre savviness. Is like, hey, isn't that like that time that prior episode just now that we were told to go down there and it was a trap? This feels like a trap. We're the food. This is a trap. Yeah.
Keep getting us.
Turns out it's not a trap. Which is even
better.
It
feels like a trap.
It feels like a trap,
but with a bunch of monsters.
It's just something very strange. There's a big one all smushed up into the wall, and then its head starts glowing, and
its head, face, screen, the thing that these man-eaters seem to have instead of a head. Yeah.
And then they're suddenly, definitely being attacked by little baby monsters that are phasing through the wall, and they've got like
I knew that wasn't real, or that it was going to be walked back a bit because. The extremeness of it, but I did wince every fucking time, man. I was just like, "Oh fucking hell!" That's
it's just a nasty mechanical thing. It's kind of like like four square corners that kind of come into the middle, and it's just like it's like not gonna cook clean. It's just gonna kind of grind off the arm as it's like fucking ripping it off. It's like it's gross.
These little monsters, these imaginary, as it turns out, monsters have a 4-way snips guillotine for removing your limbs. Surgically removing your limbs, I guess.
It was bad trip, bad dream. Fun. Like, Miracle, wake up! What the fuck is happening? You're just shooting that fucking laser beam at the wall at nothing. Are you all right?
Well, he does wake him up by smooching, which is one way to do it.
Yeah, because that's returning to the tension they had earlier when they were having a bath. Because as Maru notices, is that Hiroko will say that they are Hiroko at certain points, but other points starts acting like a different person than.
Yeah, there's inconsistency there, and obviously from his point of view, it's kind of like, you just want to see me as a girl because you want to smooch my face, but I'm a boy. I'm totally a boy, and there's nothing of her left after. Don't think about it too much. Yeah.
Well, it's of course as you get reminded of that, because it has the hair tied up, wet, and you see the scar of the scalp, like it was saying, "Oh yeah, you're there's a different brain in there." Yeah.
Of course, that's not what the guy is looking at. He's looking at the naked girl body in front of him, and he's like, "A boobies." Yeah.
Like a good look, because you won't be seeing this again for a very long.
And then the guy who we'd only heard the voice of walks into the basement, sees that they've killed the monster, and is like, "Do you kill this monster? Because I need you to kill something else. I'm the doctor you're looking for, but not the doctor you tried to look for. You're the doctor you're currently looking for, but not the doctor you've got a photo of who you're actually looking for."
Because when they showed the little the Luddite anti-doctor guys called the photo, there was just like, no, the doctor we know is much younger, and I was like, that motherfucker can switch brains, so I don't that's not impossible. Then it was the first thing I was thinking.
Like what? Like Blackjack, he just operated on himself. I'm much of Blackjack could switch his own brain out.
It wouldn't be the weirdest thing in this show so far.
Like, okay, 1, 2, 3.
You gotta be quick.
Hope it lands.
Well, he's done it successfully once, so if you could teach someone else to do it, then you'd be able for it. Yeah.
Is that where it ends?
Pretty much. It's just there, like, it's just
they've got a new job from this totally like not suspicious seeming doctor when he laughs maniacally that they can kill monsters in his basement.
Yeah, there's no aside this time to what's going on in the school, where or when that is focusing on things. So it's kind of, I'd say these are about to, or some semblance of them converging is going to probably come up soon.
Yeah, because I mean, like, are these doctors? Is this hospital doing something along the lines of what that institute was doing? We don't know yet.
No. Won't take very long to find out.
Yeah.
I think the very next episode.
Gasp. It all looks fine about it. I'm still like, I know there's like some big resources behind this, but it's consistently fairly top notch.
Yes, that is true.
This far in.
Because next week, some shows start falling apart at the seams.
Some have been, yeah.
As well, yes. One this week, this week misses a week. There'll be another one missing a week in a couple of weeks' time.
Which Mercury missed a week there the other weekend.
Right.
I wonder if there obviously some shared subcontractor got fucking nuked from orbit or something.
Yeah, or COVID.
There's a ripple effect.
That could also be it. Hell's Paradise, episode 7. This is one of the shows which will be taking a week off shortly. Flowers and offerings. So, for our main group, it's gone great because the little girl they find in the village and her Groot friend take them to have a bath. They get along swell. The two brothers who discovered the two
sexy
people
ladies
smooching
who can turn into sexy men at will.
Get their asses kicked and threatened to be turned into flowers.
Which is unfortunate because initially the first lady guy is like, what the fuck are you guys doing here? And the other lady guy is like, hey, you guys want to make out? And it's like, no, don't be gross. I'm gonna put them in a big pit, turn them into flowers. Bish bash bosh, all done.
Yeah. And it's quite because the scenes with them are happening as the tree man in the other scene is explaining
how those motherfuckers work.
Yes. Yeah. These are Tencent. These are Tencent. They're bad news. They rule this place, and they don't like any humans off this place. I'm telling you all this because I know you're gonna die.
Because initially, there's the confrontation was like, we need to take out this tree man and fucking capture this little girl. Maybe she can answer our questions. But your one blinds him by removing his glasses and throwing them in a bush. And it's just like, I'm just gonna drip with weird slime so you can't see how my fucking ninja powers work. And in the meantime, our heroes make a small child cry. And it's like, come on, dude, she's just a little kid. She clearly has some sort of superpowers, but she's still a little kid, so tying her up in vines.
She did fun judo flip me into the ground.
And she did a super punch of some kind of or another. But they calmed down the little kid by being nice to the little kid, and then the Groot guy is kind of like, hey, don't hurt me or her. I'll take you back to my house. I'll explain everything. I will tell you no lies, but I will leave out key details.
Well, very likely. Because he's going what's his name? One Coca. Anyways, just what I'm saying. I don't mind telling you all these things happening now because you're already dead. I'm just talking.
Yeah, no one leaves this island alive.
So relax, have a bath, eat up, because you won't be able to enjoy it for much longer, folks.
And even it was like, here's a big plate of food, and it's like, we shouldn't eat that. That's poison. And he's like, I have literally no reason to do that. You guys are fucked, basically. Eat away. It doesn't really bother me. She eats this stuff, and she's grand. So
yeah, when Gabby Maurer was like, after hearing all this fun saying, immortal monsters definitely dead fun saying, no fun. Immortal monsters, and that means it must be an immortal elixir. So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, yeah. This is hopeful to him, basically. They're not off on a wild goose chase. Our other ninja kind of is confused. Is like, wait, so it's not a peach? It's just like, I was just going by the picture. I was looking for a peach this whole time.
And we get the names of the girl and the creature. The creature is called Hoko, and the girl's name is May. And then the last part of the episode is all the authors' research into Edo era bathing methods.
Yeah, the different oils that you'd use and that kind of thing. Because they do have a whole bath suite there. They're just not using it from presumably whatever civilization fucking died here. Yeah.
Well, it's important as well. Like Gabby Marrow, you're meant to be this one tough nut, but you gotta take care of yourself, man. And say, no, you don't. Yes, you do. Well, then, I'm not a violent person. This is my way of preparing for struggles ahead. When you train your body in the ninja arts, I just keep people kind of well fed and well clothed and well bathed. Mind after them.
Yeah.
The Kasagiri is saying he is softened up a bit. He stopped shouting at the child and try to be nice to her instead.
And of course, this is the Gabimaru loves his wife section of the episode, which
you said a thing similar that was my wife said, which was a nice thing and a humane thing and that kind of thing. And even when leaving the bathhouse, is kind of like the little girl. It's like, because she has a big scar down her back. He's like, "Hey, don't worry about that scar. You shouldn't be ashamed of it. I knew a woman with a scar on her face, and she's the most beautiful woman I know." And your one's kind of like, as a weirdly nice thing to say, Gabimaru. What's going on? That's not like you.
Ultimate wife guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so one more episode next week, and then a break of a week.
Is it better for things to take a hiatus for a little bit and sort themselves out before?
I think
like,
it is.
Putting out a shite episode. I think it's better overall, honestly.
Yes.
It would be better to just like not fucking have 2 studios make everything in a fucking season. Like it's getting crazy.
Well.
Yes.
Because when the studio is map, I don't know what the hell the phone took this on. They're doing literally, it's doing Vinland Saga that we're watching right now.
They're doing this. They're doing because they're doing the third thing we're watching, aren't they? At least the third one. I can't remember.
It fucking feels like it, doesn't it?
But anyway, yes, because this was all mentioned on Twitter earlier this week. It was like, because I remember in the aughts that quite often the series would fall apart at episode 4. You'd get 3 great episodes, and then it was going to hell. I'm thinking of Gonzo in particular. Shows would fall apart on episode 4. And so it's impressive that it now takes 6 to 8 episodes for the shows to fall apart. But they fall apart in such a way, they have to stop airing them. Except Marginal Service, but we can talk about that next week when we get to that sloppy episode.
Yeah. It's better for like the crew, like you're not being over. I mean, like I presume they're getting worked pretty fucking hard, but they're not getting worked to the point where they produce shite. And it's better for the overall product in the end as well. So I think it's better just things take a hiatus. Take as long as you fucking need. Stop trying to just pump out 20 fucking things.
It seems to have worked so far for
make really short shows like Chibi Godzilla Raids Again, Season 1, Episode 6, The Roaring Dragon, Chibi Anguirus. Fantastic.
I was really looking forward to this
gag.
Because I love Anguirus, so I was really looking forward to hearing what he sounded like, and I was still delighted.
He sounds like Anguirus because he's already gone through puberty, and so his voice is broken, and so therefore he can no longer understand him because he sounds like a giant monster.
He sounds like Anguirus voice samples, sound effects, yeah.
Yes. And so so load of gags where Chibi Godzilla is pretending that he understands him, but doesn't start speaking English, still doesn't understand him when he starts speaking English. They call in the 2 fairies, and they just claim that Anguirus is saying how hot they are, and Anguirus is like making big X signs with his hands to say that's not what I'm saying.
That's good
also,
stuff.
Mechagodzilla is a man trap. It's all good stuff. It's a great central gag. As I was recommending this to somebody, I said it's if you like Godzilla and you like Manzai or sketch comedy, it's a great show. But you have to like both of those things. If you only like one of those things, I'm not sure you'd like it.
Yeah.
Certainly, if you don't like sketch comedy,
it sounds like a difficult sell, but yeah.
Yeah. It's like if you like Godzilla but you don't like Manzai, I don't think you like it. If you like Manzai and sketch comedy, I think you might like it, but because I don't think the references to Godzilla stuff are too specific.
You're certainly probably aware by osmosis what Godzilla is about.
Yeah.
You may not have seen a film, but you would be able to recognize. Oh yeah, I've seen this. Parodied at least. And how many different things?
I feel like it's the Mothra stuff is the one which is like more specifically drawing on the difference between these characters and how the characters are in the films.
But you do get a lot of it if you're into Godzilla, because like just the use of the classical music, the use of the sound effects, you're kind of like like it's pleasant, it's familiar, that kind of way.
Yeah. Anyway, it's all Chibi Attack next week, I believe. Something along those lines, where you get realistic drawings of Chibi Godzilla. Then it's Vinland Saga, talking to All Out Attacks, Season 2, Episode 19, The Battle of Ketil's Farm.
This will go down in history as
come on, lads. Let's fuck them up. I'll cancel while you're dead if you follow me. And say, oh, sweet.
And I like the way the son is kind of like, father is very wise. Was it the son or was it
Thorgil?
Yeah, was it Thorgil who said that is like he was smart to not inform them that we're fighting the king until they got here because well we're already here, we might as well.
Because they're whooping and cheering and Thorgil is up and saying, "You're all gonna die."
You're all basically ways for me to get into Valhalla, so that's fine by Thorgil. Yeah.
Meanwhile,
the other son, the younger son, is just like, oh shit! I really didn't want to kill that dude. I really didn't want to kick all this off. We're totally fucked.
I mean, like, yeah, he's kind of blaming himself, but they literally just used this as like, what a perfect excuse to do what we wanted to do anyway. They would have done it anyway in some regard, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, by the end of the episode, Olmar is fully checked out of this entire situation.
Well, mostly because he can't swim with a sword on his back, which would be difficult. Yeah.
I just want to be a big shot. I just want to be a big shot, but I don't want to be a big shot anymore.
So Canute sends a messenger to Ketil.
They sent the scariest looking dude to deliver as well. He's got like, he's all scarred up. Even his helmet is all scarred up. We're across the eye with his guy. Oh man, this guy looks pretty intimidating. He's probably like one of the worst fighters, but he looks the part.
He wasn't there to negotiate peace. He was there to negotiate. If you fuck off, we won't kill you. All right, we'll give you till tomorrow.
Yeah, so... reasonable exile conditions, to be honest, because it's not like in ancient Greece you're being carried off to an island, not on your own accord. These big, you can leave, go wherever you like. You can go to Iceland with just hop on Leaf's boat, start a nice peaceful. Yeah, well, but yeah, Ketil is too far into, as we learn out by the end of the episode, he's too far into a lie.
Yeah,
got a reputation to maintain.
The same thing that Thorgil was saying about these guys is like, well, now that they're here and they're all riled up, we'll be like, we're fighting the king, and they're about like, they're all going to go home. It's like, no, they're Viking. I was going to say blood. Their Viking culture won't let them go like, we're ready for a fight. It's like, you're fighting the king. It's like, I'll fight the king, I guess. It's the same with Ketil. It's just like he's got to go through with it because Viking says you gotta fight.
Can't let him know I'm a total punk. I can't let him know I'm a punk. Can't let that
I can't let him know I'm not the Iron Fist Ketil, just a Ketil. Again, another problem with Vikings. They need more than 5 fucking names. That's important.
Yes. Because we get, when Snake is back with his group, he's suiting up and he explains, he's basically telling the others to fuck off because he knows this is.
It's like,
doomed.
Yeah, we're fucked. I'm gonna try and talk him out of it, but
there's some real shit here.
Like, you guys can just fuck off. Like, I gotta stick by him because Iron Fist Ketil, he taught me everything I know when I was just a young buck, and I came back from war and I got in some shit and I said, oh, I'll get a job. I heard Ketil's got a farm, and I came here. That's not Ketil. That's a different guy.
So that's how absurd the situation is for me. I don't know how it is for you, but I don't know. I feel somehow fucking like, attached to this. So I just want to see it out. It's probably the best thing for me, honestly.
Well, he's basically saying I've been living a lie myself.
Yeah.
On this farm, taking this man's money, eating his food. So I got to stay here and do this fight. And then the others guiltily put their armor on and follow him.
I can't let him go do it himself. But Snake is pretty sound.
Yeah, and also because we've now got this little bit more little teeny. He did something bad, and so he had to change his name and run away. And then obviously, if you're the watcher or the reader, you're like, well, all these other guys have also got animal names, so presumably they're all in the same boat with him.
They already did the same crime, or
they've said as much
similar.
Before.
Yeah. Yeah, they feel like they owe him, so yeah, they're gonna go. Thorgil manages to. They're going to sneak past enemy lines. Him and his brother sneak into the camp and chop Canute's head off.
Thorgil, really?
Well, both of them try it, and then Olmar washes up on shore and basically just goes, "Fuck this."
I already have a too big a sword for me, and swimming with it is another fucking thing. Whereas he runs like, ha ha ha, sneaking up on the king, ha ha ha, there's the king, ha ha ha, I'm gonna kill a king.
Yeah. On the other side of this, the other group as well, Thorfinn and Einar, I know.
Kind of like we should go.
You're trying to get like the grievously injured Einhard off the farm, who's in like in the grip of death. She is seeing like visions of herself in that dark forest on the other side with one. There's Gardar, and there's that son I lost, and there's this baby I'm about to have. But where are we going? Oh, we're just going somewhere nice. We can all be together.
They've got all but permission from Peter to go like, yeah, you're probably better off going that. And Peter is obviously in the fight, so he's just like, yeah, we're not coming out of this one, so you guys just fucking go. And the basically only regret is kind of like, oh, we didn't get to say goodbye to the old master. That kind of sucks because he was pretty good to us, honestly. Yeah.
Which is a similar thing that Ironheart says when it's spiritual and saying, no, like there are these two lads who are really nice to me, and I feel like I have to go back and tell them thank you. And then Gardar was like, well, you know what you must do, my love. We'll wait for you here when it is your time.
Yeah, and then we get Canute going, well, these Yoms Vikings, they're pretty great. So
they have like a single line of them, and they can advance with that because it's just like they're not getting through that line. These guys are getting butchered.
Just a really pathetic firing of arrows there. It's just, it feels so like limp and just like full stunk.
Yes,
initially Ketil is mad at them because they didn't hold them off on the beach. And it's like they can't hit them from the shore, but the guys on the boats can sure fucking hit them from the boats.
Launch from twice the distance, fun 5 times the force. The dudes are getting fucking pinned to the ground through their fucking head.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of comedy bits like that, which is mainly involving the battle, like Snake and Fox like going like, hey, and it's like, see those guys, they got about 100, they're counting out the enemy forces, which the idiots back in the thing is like, we got like 150 guys, they only got like 100 guys, it'll be grand, we got way more, or they've got way more anyway. But Snake kind of going is like, you see those guys in the white capes? He's like, yeah, what about them? Those are Yoms Vikings. And Snake's like, what the fuck? Oh Jesus, we're fucked.
Just something like this. The book a bit with Snake was just like fun saying, "Well, I'm in this now, but fuck it." I guess what is fun saying, "Boss, we're all gonna get killed if they advance." Fun saying, "Advance, fucking go on." Fun saying, "Okay."
Here we go.
Yeah, I forgot to mention the bit from last episode when Flocky goes, "Jomsburg is an ally. I'm not quite his liegeman." And I was like, "Oh, that's big old foreshadowing there for you, Flocky." Should not have said that.
Well, you shouldn't have said it in front of the king.
No.
Don't say like, oh yes, we're business partners. I'm an equal standing with the king.
No. He's king of 2 fucking countries, all right? You're a guy.
I'm just a contractor. I'm not like, I'm not here under any agreement. I can get out of this whenever I want. I've got a get out clause. See it?
Yeah. Anyway, next week, more stuff on Yoms Vikings, more stuff on Viking Pride. And how that paid off for them in this battle. We already see it falling apart here.
The more sad shit.
Yeah,
it is, but it's very much at this point. It is now fully into. This is what the hypothesis of the series is coming clear within these next few episodes.
Like basically. Up to this point in Viking society, being enslaved and then being able to work off your debt and then live and work on the farm for the rest of your life as a slave, but initially then as a free man, was actually, this is pretty good. I guess it's not so bad after all. It's like, no, the entire situation is fucked, and this is just a point that proves that.
Yes, yeah, and I believe characters will say this out loud in the show before this season's finished.
Yeah.
It's just like, what's the point of trying to even live quietly if you're going to just be taken from you at a moment's notice against your will?
Yeah. Well, that's probably as his dad pointed out, the problem was Ketil wasn't trying to live quiet enough.
Yeah, if you'd kept this farm small and kept from expanding, you could have lived to die in the field like we wanted. Basically.
That's just kind of just that urge for conquest exists in you, whether you're fucking on the battlefield or whether you're fucking.
It's built into the society.
It's just like, you gotta be taken. If you don't take it, someone else will, and we'll have to get go over on you.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll spot my tongue because there's more to talk about that next episode. then it is Marginal Service, episode 6, from the sublime to the ridiculous. Boobs for a marmot, air tank for a shark.
I was disappointed by this title. It wasn't as mad as I thought it was going to be. But
it's pretty mad when they use Peck as the bait to catch the shark.
That's great. No, love that. Fuck that guy.
Because the shark's eaten him once. They realise the shark.
The only thing the shark is went for. And they're all going to turn to him as he's climbing back on board from just having been eaten by the shark.
But this shark has cancer, and you have to operate.
Yeah, so we get a lot of the history of
for ages that sharks can't get cancer. Well, actually, they can get cancer, but yeah,
this one can.
This one can. It's not even a shark. It's a I was going to say an alien again. God damn it!
It's a yokai. It's a borderlander.
It's a borderlander. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uma.
They have to take a boat to Rubber Suits Island because they blew up the helicopter before and they haven't gotten a replacement since. Which I'm like, that I like the realism of that. That does feel like and your man's kind of going like fucking some UN funded fucking organization we are.
Well,
I think it adds. We're not made of helicopters. Come on.
It adds to the absurdity. Is you've got at least 2 guys in this organization who act like they're in an action movie. And the problem is they're not in an action movie, despite what they might think.
They have a budget, apparently.
Yes. Which is fantastic. Yeah, as we get the God, what's his name? The quiet scientist guy.
Cyrus.
Yes, we get his
Cyrus
background.
The virus. No, he's not that.
He's the doctor.
Yes.
He's not interested in it. I don't like going outside. No, thank you. But this shark's clearly got a tumor on the brain. It's been swimming in weird circles, and that's when we get washed up on the shore. And they're kind of putting fun and saying, we're doing like action things, we're doing horror things. We're also kind of rolling like some like medical drama into the thing and saying, we're gonna operate right now, right here in the beach. My tools.
So initially they're threatened by the giant shark in the boat, and they get to say we should have got a bigger boat, etc. That kind of thing, but they keep saying things to set him off. It's like, well, why do you think he's living in this island? It's like, well, maybe he couldn't fit in human society, and he's like an outcast. And the doctor's just like, oh, he's me. It's me for real. The whole time.
Throw out medical school for cloning.
They're both purple.
People. Thrown off my family for, I guess, the disgrace of illegal cloning.
Yeah,
picked up at a marginal service. Look at this, all my skills.
Yeah, they try catching him with Peck. The boat ends up getting destroyed. Mysterious figures bring them ashore, which is where they find the shark, who's also ashore. Let's get the brain tumor. They operate. They realize that. And now from the next episode, it's clear who they're supposed to be. It's Jason Statham and The Rock. They're missing. And the fishmen say, "Oh yeah, they were taken away by a guy in a skin-tight suit." And then, meanwhile, Zeno tries to make these fishmen who rescued them register themselves.
Like
the
shark is beached on the thing. It's like, oh fuck! I identified from his spinning and the way his eyes are moving. That's the symptom of a brain tumor in an animal. So I'm going to operate now. And it's like, fish gross me the fuck out. So this sucks for me to do open brain surgery on a shark. But I'll do it because he me for real. And Zeno's kind of like, I'm going to arrest this fucking shark, and it's like, dude,
he's going to shoot the shark in the head. That's his fucking.
Just let me take care of this. And the Atlanteans show up. It's like, yeah, we saved you and pulled you ashore. Do you mind if we take him back?
Nobody move.
You're not using him. It's like, all of you are illegal fucking aliens, illegal immigrants. And they're like, no. And he's like, all right, I'll bend my way slightly by registering all of you now, and I'll register your place of residence to this island. And they're like, dude, we live in the ocean, but you do you. I don't fucking care.
Whatever. I don't want to obey your laws.
And Brian's like trying to get Zeno to calm down. It's like, this is not the time and the place to try and obey yours.
These guys are all right. These Atlanteans are cool. Leave them be.
And I think the key line here from what I guess is the show's point of view is, sure, go ahead and register as long as we've got our freedom. And I was like, that's where it is on immigration. It's like, it doesn't believe in immigration because it thinks people should just be able to move wherever they like, without limits. I think that's the show's point of view. From
I think it's a fair fucking point of view as well. And obviously, by showing Zeno to be xenophobic, it's kind of like, that works pretty good. Even if you do very silly things like name your shark, what was it, John Gilman or something like that? just very on the nose in a lot of places. But I mean, like, yeah, that's a good point on immigration.
No, I think it was Bruce Gilman because
Bruce.
Jaws.
Bruce.
Yes.
Yeah.
We threw the air tank in thinking he would go for it, but he didn't.
No, sharks don't gravitate towards air tanks. That was just the movie, guys. And they're just like, it worked in the movie, though. And obviously, those are the two guys who have been kidnapped by Rubber Suit because they're the guys who think they're in an action movie.
Yes.
They are, but yeah.
They're half naked, chained up, and Rubber Suit is about to play his guitar at them. And next week,
torture or something.
It gets even stupider.
Excellent. Good.
Because it's about those two, and those two are the most stupid characters in the show.
I do enjoy them a lot. I'm glad its stance on immigration is actually fairly good and understandable, even though this show is entirely fucking stupid on purpose. It's not trying to be a smart, deep show.
Yeah, it could be as dumb as they want. Just don't be fucking. I suppose the most they're going to split of it is for not to completely excoriate an entire class of people.
Yeah.
Which it's not, because it set Xeno up seriously in the first 3 episodes, and then it's these next 3 episodes, 4, 5, and 6, are just
what a dumb piece of shit.
Highly been pulling him apart.
Yeah.
It's so pathetic, I quite like it actually. And you could fund Brian Night Ranger, and throw out the first, for getting his partner killed. I think he's going to be the loose cannon. He's going, dude.
And this episode is like, I was ostracized by society because I beat up the bullies, but then they saw me and they didn't see the guy I was protecting, so they thought I was the bully, so they thought I had a fucking bad streak. And it's like, no, I'm actually quite reasonable and we'll talk things out if
compared to this dude. Compared to this dude, I'm fucking even keel.
Then next on the list is, he says, going back to the correct piece of paper that he's looking at on the screen. Dr. Stone, New World, episode 7, Ray of Despair, Ray of Hope. Ray of Hope is how much better this episode looks than the last episode.
Yeah.
Well, now there's real shit happening.
The
actual threat has arrived, or they've arrived to the threat.
And now there's beautiful ladies to draw, so that's going to get the animators.
That's true.
Always has been.
Also, there is also now Gremlin Ultraviolet Kohaku to draw. I'd forgotten how bloodthirsty she is because there's not been a real enemy on the screen.
No.
She's been the Xeno and from this point saying, let's just fucking kill these bitches. But no, we can't be cool about this Kohaku.
That is also Magma's plan. But,
this is a stealth operation.
So they pull up on the bay and they decide to split into a let's go scope it out team. So we'll go with a minimal team. Exactly what we need. So
Senku goes.
Senku, because he can identify what the metal they're looking for is.
Kohaku's got them good eyes. Also, she can beat people up.
Very handy.
Gen will be the diplomat.
In case we need to talk to someone, and we'll bring
Soyuz because he's from
here. So
if you remember something.
And as soon as they're off the ship, they're like, okay, Suika, you can come out. Ryu says, I'm going to punish you for sneaking aboard the ship. She's like, how did you know I was here? I should have gone. I'm a great scout.
I would be about to punish you if somebody had a drop on us and turn us all to stone.
I did like the bit with Ryusui, kind of like, it's like, we're going straight back home, young lady. And then, his butler is kind of like, don't worry, he's just putting on a front. And he's like, shut the fuck up, I am not putting on a front.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Before that bit, they're trying to radio them, aren't they? Because they found the statues underneath the boat.
Yeah, your man's on the radar thing going like, wait a minute, there's something fucked up on the sea floor. Oh, fuck. Wait a minute, this island was uninhabited first, which means these have to be the island's inhabitants and descendants of the inhabitants. This is bad.
Turned to stone.
Yes.
We do see Ryusui has been frozen in a kicking position because he has charitably kicked the small child off the ship, thereby saving her.
And I can't remember if Ginro's saved or not. I assume that'll be next week explained. Because he was in the water when whoever it was turned them to stone. They saw something.
Know the rules of how it works yet, but we will learn fairly soon.
Let's just say, for anybody listening, we're pretending we don't know how the rules because we've read the entire bloody comic.
It's a good comic.
It is, yeah.
Got to what now?
But I do like the way it kind of sets itself up where, it's like you see something's about to happen on a ship, we cut back to our team, and it's like, we can't get them on the radio. Oh, we got a shit signal. I guess we could go have a look. And it's like, oh, fuck. They're statues now because we didn't know that was re-statuing was an option until this point. So it is kind of shocking. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's. Go ahead.
It's kind of, I took the layers up of like these are small little kind of details, from like at first glance, and say, yeah, sure, we've seen loads of stuff to down the bottom of difference, and you don't get it, from this like it's. Yeah. We see it all around, but it shouldn't be here. It's always like like what is or should be there that isn't there. Is this like this how I think they kind of build the threat very, very kind of slowly over this. It kind of just creeps up in you, and then it just like clutches you in the heart, and you see like, oh shit, look, I didn't know we were doing that again. Turn people to stone. That we were trying to get past that. Now we're back into it again. Shit.
Yes, and this makes Sawyers remember. Oh yes, my mum was trying to get away from this island because something's bad on this island. Yeah.
So they manage to use forensic science to track an island's inhabitants by looking at the seashells collected and building a profiling her.
Says again.
It turns out.
Fun. Just because I'm up on Mentis, I got a profile for it. I just wonder about average heights. Fun. Obviously, it's about this or that now because based on your experience, you would know that it's this much. These shells would be no good to us. You wouldn't have thrown them away. I put them up in the first place. It's just the whole fun FBI thing. Fucking all pattered out there.
They track her down, and it's like perfect. Now we just need to approach her. Oh, there's 3 guys approaching her with marriage right now. She's putting them down. Okay, excellent. Now we can approach her, and we just have to be careful about what we open with. And Tengoku's like, "Hey, where'd the platinum at? give me.
One moment, please. Oh, please don't. I'm just a harmless little girl. Won't anybody come help me?"
This is our new character. I've forgotten her name. The most beautiful girl on the island.
Amaryllis.
Yes.
Amaryllis. Yes.
Because the people on this island, I think, are named after flowers, aren't they, as opposed to rocks?
But again, it's the scientific names for things, which is the same thing that our guys are from.
Do they all have slightly slightly different eye design to the villagers?
And they have different haircuts, so genetics have gone a slightly different way, and also hairstyles, I guess.
You have this strange quasi-Egyptian theme going on.
Yeah.
As we'll get to in later episodes, where there's a guy who's just a drawing of a historical Egyptian figure. But yeah, so it turns out that she's going to be married to the master of the island.
And initially, on seeing Sawyers, she's kind of like, oh, because they're kind of deferring. He's like, Sawyers, do you know what this is about? And it's like, oh, they're deferring to this guy. Oh, he's the master. Oh, master, you're so manly, and those big, beautiful, dreamy eyes. It's like, oh, I could get lost in him. And he's being like, oh, crap, I'm feeling weird about this.
Yes, because he's the one who's getting like hearts in his eyes when he sees Amaryllis, because as Gen explains, Senku won't have anything to do with romance until civilization is restored.
Possibly not after that.
And possibly not after that. No.
Unless it's with Gen. I think that's why Gen is on the boat. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
That is might be left out any juicy gossip.
I mean, because again, she then mistakes Senku for the leader, because they do say, well, technically he's the leader, and she's like, oh, master, you're beautiful, all scary eyes. My spiel isn't really working.
Where is Platinum?
And Gen's kind of like, I could be considered the leader. And she's like, no, I'm not doing it a third time. Gen's like, all right, I guess I missed out on the hugs this time. Well.
And so her suitors have planned to form a mob to overthrow the master. And Senku's like, oh, that's going to cause us problems if they try that. So let me just gas them.
Good thing I brought a tear gas backpack. Gen, activate! And Gen just lies down on the ground with a gas mask while they pump tear gas at this village full of guys. Well, I mean, that is going to reduce the riot. And on seeing this, she's kind of like, well, you did protect my guys, and you're out for getting this thing, and I'm out for taking this guy down, and you got a way of taking him down. I'm joining the party. I'm forcefully joining the party.
Excellent. So now they've got 5 members of the party, plus Suika has escaped petrification, and possibly Ginro. That's not clear whether he was on board the ship or not when the petrification happened.
Yeah.
Well, now that you got someone reliable we can turn to in a pinch when things go wrong for us. Oh, wait, no, it's Ginro.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Suika.
There's lots of great drawings in this as well. There's like some very funny face drawings, particularly of Kohaku.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amaryllis is good as well. It's kind of at the fluctuate between like doing the big doe eyes. Oh, please help me, and it's like kind of recoiling in horror at these barbarians who have washed up on our shores.
And if you're going to make a character attractive and get all the animators interested in doing it again, it's her character being attractive is her thing. She's the best at being attractive. She has learned this as a life skill that she's using for revenge or for justice, whichever way you want to look at it.
Highly enjoyable. Yeah, it kind of gets. It's one of these episodes where it kind of does Boichi right in the animation, which he's been avoiding in the past two, but in the past couple of episodes it's been able to do it because there's a lot of explanation going along, so you don't have to do too much extravagant animation. But this was a lot of fun. Loved it. And then the show I'm not watching, Ranking of Kings, The Treasure Chest of Courage, episode 6, Bojji the King and the Melancholy of King Daida.
What Bojji did next.
Right. Do you remember the episode where Bojji got to be king at the end of the show, but then he was like, I don't want to be king. I want to hang out with my friend and go on an adventure, right? This is like an episode of what happened just before that and just after that. So if you want your continuity...
Yeah.
It's not none of it's necessary. It's all filler, but we're having a fun time.
I suppose we're seeing contrasting styles here. Or like,
that's the other thing. They work well against each other because Bojji as a king is very kind and the man of the people, and he goes into town and everyone's delighted to see him.
The kind of king who'll give you the clothes off your back. Like, yeah, he's all right. And then the kind of things he was being like the writer before and saying, "What a dumbass! He's walking around with no clothes on," and saying, "Yes, because he's given them to this child in rags,
a child whose clothes were eaten by goats while he was swimming in the swimming hole." And I was just like, that's laudable. But then obviously our
Bebin is just like fun. Hey, remember, fun. That's really sounded to do, but you gotta like at least like seem like you're pretty cool because that's what a king's gotta be. You gotta have a cool.
Like if you got a cold, you wouldn't be able to defend this country, so that's no good. So I'm gonna take this cloak and put it on you, and it's like, the contrast between Bebin and what's the guard's name? The guard with the beauty mark. Hokuro. Because Hokuro's like, I'm scared of Bebin. He's got that scary face, and Bebin's just like. He looks scary, but he's like the nicest fucking guy.
They're like two little girls have lost their pet birdie, and they spend like Bojji says, "Okay, Mary, so like if you want to spend all evening for this bird," and they kind of going whistling, going, "Peppy, right?" Then Peppy is just like, "This isn't getting us anywhere." She just goes.
He produces the most beautiful bird song. It's just like, yeah, of course he can do that. He is a man who commands the animals and that kind of thing. Mostly snakes.
Charms it down, and then an incoming hawk is trying to take it out. His fun little stone flicks it at supersonic speed, and bats it away.
And he still apologizes to the hawk. Is like, sorry for taking your meal, hawk friend, but this day we need to protect the sparrow.
Bebin, you're all right. You're a big softy too, just like Bojji is.
And you get a cut to that bird where it was with our little shadow guy while he was separated. And he was like, I want to be with my king. And then bits of the king kind of going like, I miss my shadow friend, because he sees a shadow and he's just like, oh. But they're going to get together in that episode that I mentioned, so it's fine.
Because he goes for the edge of one saying, Kage, my blade. Oh, he's not here. I need my squire. I need my friend, to help me out. So that's me goes off on adventures and needs Daida to hold it in the bag, and now Daida's got to deal with all this fucking admin. It's like, Jesus, fucking requests of reconstruction. Where we going to fucking rebuild a new barracks into your manor seat? Been putting this in the long finger for weeks now. The workers are getting restless. It's like, Jesus, I can't handle this.
Also, Miranjo, like he's not able to hang out with Miranjo because he has all this official work to do, and we need to repair the damage to the castle that was done at the end of the fucking show, that kind of stuff, and the town and whatnot. But and Miranjo's wandering off doing suspicious things with ancient texts, possibly evil. I guess we'll see.
And to cap it off, the fucking like Ranking of Kings judges is coming by next week. Fucking to do fucking like an examination. If one said, "Fuck's sake!" All right, lads.
He had a quick succession of change of king, so they need a reevaluation basically. So the big four has to train him in
training montage. Get me all up to speed. Yeah. I'm not as shit as I used to be. But oh no, there's been trouble down at your construction site, and there's a guy trapped under the rubble. Everyone's saying, lads, let's get down there. I'm the king of a man of action, get all these over there, healing spells from my man.
And they're not only thankful for healing him, but is thankful for getting the deconstruction and then possibly whatever we're going to reconstruct the barracks into, because they're kind of like, we are at peace now. Do we need a barracks? And they're like, But
Mirandro's off in the forest. He's been up to some dark purpose this previous time. Is just like, what's going on? This college fund saying, now children, if you mess this up, you know what will happen, right? We'll just try again because this is a school. I've been teaching the kids how to read and write and sing, and actually also do sign language.
Yeah, you had a bit of that with Bojji as well, where he was delighted that some of the kids who would have been bullying him before are now learning how to sign "Hello, Your Majesty," that kind of thing. And she's teaching them how to sign and read and write. And he's like, "We'll build a school instead of a barracks, and you, Mirandro, will be the teacher." And it's your happy ever after. Everything goes well. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's a. I like the. I the bits with Bebin in the first one because you guys see a bit more of him.
But even the bits in Bebin in the second one, like he's saying, is how it's really interesting that Daida is actually looking up to Bojji, and it's like, how can I look up to the kind of king my brother is? And it's like, who was for like a weekend or something like that. But Bojji's so sound. He's just like, I want to be as good as Bojji, and that's who he's really striving to be now.
It's just also the arrogance is worn off him because he would never come to them thinking of that you can't put me through a kind of cool training montage to get me ready for the fight. He would just think, I can do it myself. I'm the king. And now it's just like he's thankful of their help, and he's going to do the best he can with what he has, and they're all just like, oh yeah, he's a really good king now. Fuck, I'm delighted. It kind of makes me kind of hanker a bit more for and saying, yeah, I want to get to back to the main thrust of the fucking comic again.
Yeah,
it's why everyone's saying, oh yeah, he went off and he's going to do mad adventures now, and there's also this other ship that kind of the king judges and be reminded of like, oh yeah, demons exist. And the previous episode one saying, what's that about? So I'm kind of eager to get back onto the main stuff.
Yeah, and someone's going to go take his pick of the treasure out of the treasury because he got the #1 spot in the ranking of kings.
Yeah. Oh, great.
I'm sure that's going to work out wonderfully for him as it has everybody else. Who definitely don't keep on taking cursed swords, which drive them insane.
No.
No.
Washer and dryer for the lowest bidders is down.
Let's see what you could have won. Yeah, now I'm imagining the guy from the King ranking being Jim Bowen under that hat.
It could be anybody.
Then we got Birdie Wing, the rainbow that tells of victory.
I was misinformed by the prior episode, which said the girl who won heaven to her side drives away the rain and brings the rainbow of victory, which was a much more clunkier title. So I'm glad they cleaned that up.
Edward came back from his one weekend away from saying, "Oh, none of that, no, none of that."
Trim it.
Yep. It's
never fit the marquee, love.
It is still very much focused on Amane and Aoi's
she has
relationship.
To learn her style and also use your caddy to predict the weather twice.
Amane is the caddy. Yeah.
Yes, Amane is the caddy. She's a trained weather forecaster, she explains.
That's a good thing I trained myself as a weather forecaster as well as a caddy.
All those hours weren't wasted after all.
So essentially, her mother's being paid to, ever since they were small children, for Amane to be Aoi's friend / caddy.
If you can bring her up to professional level, I'll free you from your curse. I mean, from your indentured childhood servitude? Is that what's happening here?
It seems like it, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, somehow.
It's a golfer's agreement that you would surrender your firstborn child to me.
Yeah.
One Amane in a round of golf.
That's the kind of world
they live in.
But yes, and she's like, when she's a little kid, she's like, they're forcing you to play this game. But it's like, I like the game. I don't care about them forcing me to play it because I love it. I'm going to teach you to love it too.
They keep cutting back to that scene where she first meets Aoi for official reasons. Like, hello, I will be your caddy as a small child. And it's like, do you like golf? It's like, not really. It's like, well, I'm going to keep playing golf till you love it. And you're going to watch my beautiful swings. And she's like, actually, that is a really nice swing. I'm really enjoying this game of golf from the get-go.
Yes.
Aoi has kind of inspired that in her.
At the present day, she is going to destroy her aunt by using the weather against her. Though, because the aunt is her aunt and is nice, she is not completely destroyed by losing a game of golf.
Well, she hasn't been assassinated with golf like our other heroine would do. And also, she's just, I think, is like, great, go pro, leave Japan so I can still do my modeling and golfing fucking shit. All right, just fuck off out of here. That would be great for my career.
Look, you still get a giant check for even coming like 30th in these things, so she's going to be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the fun thing at the end when they're in the room together and Aoi saying how much she loves and goes to hug Amane, and Amane's like, no, I'm not like that at all, because that's obviously the opposite with Ashina and Eva, where Ashina would love if Eva leapt at her and gave her a hug, but she'd love if he remembered her name, which she finally does at the end of the episode.
When confronted by another golf assassin.
Yes, Leo's back.
Hi. It's like, oh, it's just my hair on edge. This one's dangerous.
I found this
girl.
The
old man comes back and is like, I do appreciate he opens with, it's just like, I've come to beat you at golf. And he's like, you're going to enter the women's under 15 golf. It's like, no, I've trained.
No, he says yes. No, he says yes, I am.
He does say yes, he does, yeah. Yes, with this new child I've trained to assassinate.
I have found a girl who's even more like pro golfer Saru than you are. Look at the tears in her clothing. She can't afford proper shorts.
Next episode where she runs it with the golf club to hit the ball.
It's just like, God damn it, she's some kind of shonen mega protagonist energy. I can't handle this. I'm the cool one who's kind of detached. It's like Go-Go 13 or some kind of other kind of outlaw character. This isn't my vibe at all.
Which is why she turns to her caddy, says her name for the first time without prompting, and is like, now it's serious. All of a sudden.
Before they meet Leo, though, and this girl, they almost both get hit by the ball that she's just hit, which goes much further than Eve's shot.
The golf assassination.
In thick Scottish fog as well.
Oh yeah. So Scotland is real and Japan is real. Those are two real countries in this world.
Those are the two real countries so far. Yeah, there's US Open.
Real. Okay.
Okay.
Malta's also a real place.
Just make it a lay of the land here of this golf land.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great, and also because this girl who is setting Eve on edge seems incredibly nice from what we can see of her in the brief scene she's in.
It's just like, so if Birdie Wing is a sports anime, but it's like done up like it's a mecha anime, then have somebody like from an entire different like style of sports anime altogether. But it's fun. You're really out of place. There's something weird about you and off. I don't like it. I feel threatened by it. What are you hiding?
And the reason why Leo's doing this is because he wants revenge on Eve's dad, who's the only person ever to beat him.
Eve's dad is dead, and definitely not me with amnesia or something. So I've trained you to be his kind of golf style, and I'm going to defeat his golf style by training a different girl to beat his golf style, which is you.
See, I'm not letting go of that theory just yet, but maybe it's the way he phrased this, when saying he was the only person who defeated me at golf. So it seems like implied they must have kind of met some way.
I mean, like he could have met like a soul version of his golf where they had to fight each other.
Yeah, well,
it's a weird show. It could
obviously
happen.
They've got different voices. The dad is voiced by a guy who played a different Shah type character in a different Gundam series. He played the older version of the second protagonist in Gundam Age, the one who becomes like a space pirate in the third arc.
Right.
If you go to the webpage and take their faces and make one of them slightly translucent and put it over the other one, their features match up, but their ears don't.
Okay.
Again, well, there's a thing with like some of the character designs more similar to each other.
Yes.
The way character designs work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sticking to the theory for now because it's funny.
Look,
it could be something wilder that I have not expected.
We have been fooled before with possible identities of certain characters because we can't neglect to take in the possibility that there's a possibility that they could dye their hair in this TV universe. That has happened. I mean, we've been kind of fooled by that to the end.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
We shall see. I feel like
it's probably it's going to be not that, but something even stranger.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I feel like if he stepped in front of, say, his mum. I think that's the point at which it's like, would she recognize him as a husband, or in front of Amaru?
Oh, the other coach, the other coach / father.
I think he'd met him, hadn't he? Because that's what had destroyed his golf game. Apart from as well, maybe that's what he attributed it to, as opposed to his actual illness.
I presume the reason why they had a climactic golf battle on some high seas or something like that, by the look of it, was it's like, I need to defeat everyone who has defeated him, which is mostly just you. Or you came close to it, is the kind of thing.
Yeah. And we shall see. There's like 6 episodes left, I think. So, or 7, 5 maybe. We're heading into the unless, of course, it turns out there's going to be more seasons beyond this.
The brain might be. So I'm trying to think, in the back half, the opening, when it kind of going down the row of opponents who've come up so far.
Yeah.
Now they're not all there in order. Some of them are kind of saying, this is the order you're going to fight them in, right? And saying, actually, no, some of them will come different times, but it hasn't gotten to that lady at the end just yet. The very imposing one who's like the US champion or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't gotten to her yet. So
yes, because Eve's next thing is beating this girl so she can become
Eve
pro,
Jr.
and then I assume, will end up on the same tour as AOE, and then they'll both have to face off against each other and additional character.
But surely their match is going to be the last one after between the two of them. They've defeated all other the empresses of the golf world.
I presume it'll end in some climactic battle with the US champion where they have to golf back to back to something stupid.
It's at the end of Street Fighter 2, the movie.
Dear, I would love to see it, but yeah.
It would be brilliant actually for saying singles tournament. No, come on, I'll take you both on.
Dear.
Do it now. Actually, do it. I dare you not to do it.
Yeah, it's a great series, and it's I think it holds up across the season by never being super flashy. So it's one of these shows which is consistent, which I think
it's living within its means.
Yes,
consistent,
exactly.
Competent, doing exactly what it wants to do, being very silly and doing it very in a fun way, and just we're having a good time with it. I don't know much about the game, but I do know there's you got Eve and Aoi, and then a different Eve and Aoi as a choice of characters.
So it's out in June, apparently.
Maybe there's more unlockable guys. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I do wonder. I wonder if it's like the Pui Pui Molcar Switch game, whether it's like a quick cash grab.
We were making a golf game anyway.
With. Yeah.
Put some girls in it. There you go. Tie in.
Right, that is it for this week. Next week, Mash will be back. He was off this week having a recap episode.
I watched it in case it was the grandpa and what's the other guy's name? Brian.
Brad something or
Brad.
That was it. Yeah, there's a different Brian in the thing. That's what's in. To have them commenting over it, and I was like, not as much fun commentary over it, so not really necessary. But yeah.
So we're back. There'll be Hell's Paradise. Yeah, I think that's it. Nothing else is coming back. All good. Nothing bad.
Okay.
We'll have a full next week, and then a slightly depleted week the following week. Right, that'll be the end of the show, guys. Back next week. Hopefully, me and Niall will be feeling a bit better than how we've been feeling.
Let's go. Huzzah!